Hello everybody, Nostalgic here, and well, I got a package in the mail today, which is a very big surprise, and well, in order to see what I got, keep watching. So, let's get started with some rolling stock. So, for the first few pieces of rolling stock, I got a troublesome truck, and this is nothing too special because I've already got I've actually got about 3 Ertl troublesome trucks already. I can easily show you these 3 that I've already got in my collection, and one of them is from the early 2000s. So yeah, that's a 4th Ertl troublesome truck added into my collection. Yeah. Next, we have an Ertl tar tanker, and this one is also from the early 2000s. So, let me just get the tar tanker I already have. My tar tanker is from the earlier days of Ertl, where they used these pins for the couplings. So, to have 2 of them is nice, especially if I want to recreate that scene in Dirty Objects when, James gets totally splattered in tar. Then this should make for a good consist. Hey, different designs, but still the same piece of rolling stock. Here's a first for me, a milk tanker, Tidmouth Milk. Early 2000s version as well. Do not have an earlier version of this or any version of this in my collection, so yeah, this is a first for me. Now here's something weird, a blue express coach. Now, I'm going to ask this, okay? Can anyone tell me what the hell were the blue express coaches? Because, let me say this. I have red express coaches, and it's just... it's confusing to me because I've seen green express coaches, I've seen red express coaches, but never a blue express coach. So what the hell is this? Tell me in the comments. Seriously. Here's a branch line coach, of which I can only assume is, well, it's just a random piece of rolling stock from the first series, but, tell me what this is. Easily recognizable, Annie and Clarabelle, and these are from the edition of Ertls of the early 2000s, which come with the U couplings. And funnily enough, I have the earlier versions. See, I have Clarabelle and Annie, the earlier versions with these pin couplings. But overall, I'm glad I've gotten more coaches, especially for a variety to use whenever I'm using adventures or Ertl engines. Okay, so now that we have those out of the way, next! Here I have 2 Ertl Percys. One is in rather good nick for what it is. But as for the other, it's seen better days. And from what I can tell, this is a paper phase variant because of the fact that there's no thing to hold down a face, so this was a paper phase variant. The buffers are gone and so are the couplings. This guy is dead. Yeah, I have a dead Percy in my collection. Meanwhile, I have a Percy which is a live but has the 3D face. I actually do have this Percy, but I think it will be better to have this one instead of this one because, as you can see, this guy is in much better condition than this guy. So, yeah, even though this guy, he has his window stickers, no thank you. I think I'll take this guy in. And as for Paperface, I don't know what to do with him. I might as well salvage him for parts. Yeah. So, as you guys saw in one of my latest shorts, Here's what happened. I took apart a Sir Handel and I used the wrong kind of paint for him, because I was actually anticipating getting the Sir Handel and it is in much better condition. My original version of this Sir Handel is going to be turned into another engine, that being, the Big P, the one with the lucky lamp. And as for Renius, yeah, I said Renius, I'm going to be keeping this one because my old one, I'll say this, I don't have it on me right now, it's in another room, but the Renius that I have currently, his nameplates are gone, and ultimately I want to turn it into a cabless Renius, hopefully. So, yeah. Otherwise, these models are pretty good in detail. Don't understand the headlamps, though. I think it's a Railway Series thing. Maybe that's the reason why they have the headlamps. Probably because of the Railway Series. Next models. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. I have gotten another City of Truro. And I honestly don't know what the hell to do with it. Seriously. Because I've got another City of Truro right here. This is the City of Truro that I will be keeping in the collection. But as for this guy, I don't really know what to do with him because I've already turned one into a take-along and I still need to restore his paint. And as for this one, I honestly, I mean it, I have no clue what to do with him. Maybe I should replace the original, body and such, the original body and the original tender from my original City of Truro custom and just turn that into a scrap Truro. Meanwhile, this Truro would become a take-along. As for Class 40, I mean, his maul's fine. That's for sure. But I am going to be keeping my original. This one will probably be salvaged for parts. That's all I'll say. Before I even hear a single peep, these Bill and Ben will be replacing the old ones, and the old ones will be turned into blue variants from Bill or Ben. But as for Bill and Ben themselves, they're not too bad a model. I will say that because they're the same as they always are. One thing that kind of pisses me off when it comes to Ertl models like Bill, Ben, possibly even Boko, is the fact that their faces are molded into the metal, and I hate that. It sucks, but that's life. Speaking of Boko, I got him in this bundle as well, but I'm still going to be having my original Boko in my collection, as this one is in more worse for wear than mine is. So I might turn him into the murdering diesel. And as for Juke, I don't know what to do with him, but my previous model is staying in the collection. Meanwhile, this one, I don't know what to do with him. Toad, I will just keep him as an extra brake van on standby. That's it. Toad will stand by. Next. Finally, we have some new faces. So, we have Ertl Scarlowy. Brilliant model, I must say. As well as that, we got Ertl Peter Sam. I customized him a bit because his paint was chipped. And, well, his nameplate's gone and there's nothing I can really do about it. But hey, at least I did my best to restore Peter Sam. And as for Donald, I now need to find his twin. But I'll have to save that for another time. Maybe when I go to the next Audrey Extravaganza. So yeah, I got Donald, pretty good. Now all I need are Douglas and Emily in order to complete the first 12 engines. Or, okay. I already know that sounds redundant, but I don't give a shit. Here we have two daisies. One will be taken apart and salvaged for parts, while the other will be staying in the collection. Daisy herself, I mean, I do like the model. There's no word of a lie when I say that, but okay, it's not a bad model by any means, but for heaven's sake, why didn't they give her front coupling? And worst of all, why is her chassis so low? In any case, it's not too bad. At least I've got a Daisy that maybe I can turn into another RWS Diesel character. Here are the final four before we move on to the final one, which I was most excited for. So here we have Flying Scotsman. I mean, there's nothing really too special about him. He's just Gordon, painted green with a black footplate mold. And even more so the detailing with LNER, his number 4872. As well as that, he's got the Flying Scotsman nameplate, the white lining, and he's got Gordon's face. He's a 199. Not too bad of a model. So, yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Iron Harry, he looks like he's been stoned. But at the very least, I finally got one of the elusive Ertl versions of the Iron Twins. And I've also gotten Salty, the Season 7... No. A character who was introduced in Season 6. Unfortunately, his coupling is almost broken, and one of his buffers is breaking off. 'Tis unfortunate. I might glue it on, so don't worry about that. But now that we've gotten these four out of the way, it's time to move on to the final Ertl that I was the most excited for. Believe me when I say this, I've wanted this guy for a long time. Hell, I made a custom of him because I couldn't get the Ertl version. You already know who this guy is. So with that, I proudly present... Here he is, the one I was waiting for the most. D7101, otherwise known as Bear. Now, I'll say this, as you can possibly tell by some of the green marks in here, the original owner of this bear painted him green, possibly to mirror how he looks in his Northwestern livery in the books. But I said, no, I don't want that. So as soon as I got him, I cleaned him up, but unfortunately it also resulted in some of his details being washed away. That included the paint on his grills, as well as the D7101 markings on his right-hand side. As well as that, I've had to repaint his British Railways logo. But at the very least, I am now happy that I finally got this elusive Ertl. I am hoping to get Juke and hopefully Frank as well. Maybe even some of the Season 7 and Season 6 characters. But that's a story for another day. I mean, this is an Ertl lot that I got, and I am going to cherish that forever. Especially because of the fact that the models are going to go into my Ertl collection as well as the diecast collection in general. So yeah, this is actually pretty cool. And if I want... Alright, let's do this. I'm going to make a comparison between my model and the Ertl model. So, as you can see, my model is... okay, my model is taller than this 7101 model. As well as that, it is longer, and I did try and encapsulate the details well on my version of Bear, but still, yeah, that's basically it. That's basically going to do it for this Ertl review. Thank you all very much for watching. I am the Nostalgic Multiverse. Thank you very much. Have a nice day. And remember that nostalgia never dies.